defense having to know where he's at on every play, and then the playmaking ability, and got to have it situations is key, obviously, as you saw at the end. But the practices lift up, intensity ramps up when he's out there. He's just a difference maker for us, and so it was nice to obviously get him back and get the ball to him.
And then with Jaden maybe or may or not play this week, but likely coming back, how important is it for him to string together not just a couple games, but just several games to end this season, and what would that mean?
Yeah, I mean, he loves to play the game, and so I think you start there with just his passion for it, the preparation, the process, all those things. So just continue to learn as a player, continue to grow as a player, and hopefully, have some of these weapons out there with him that we can build some more rapport with going into next year.
Hey, Coach, the offensive line, it seems like that they really are gelling right now, but could you talk about Josh Connolly and what you've seen out of him in this late part of the season?
Yeah, I'm really impressed by the resiliency. Early on, faced some really talented rushers and, had some tough moments, which all rookies do. But he's continued to work hard, hasn't got his head down, and just battled his tail off the entire season. And so you're starting to see some of the benefits of those reps, and even the tough reps you learn from, you become a better player. And so I've been really impressed by the work ethic and just the mental toughness that he's displayed this season.
Wide receiver-wise, what will Noah Brown, if he's able to go this week, mean for this offense?
Yeah, he's a huge part of it. There's no doubt. His physicality, his route running. I mean, he's a super talented player. He's a guy who, can really run any type of route, play inside, play outside, and has a great knowledge of our system, so he can help guys get lined up. And he's really a steadying presence for us when he's out there.
Chris Rodriguez has looked pretty good in the run game the past couple of weeks. What is it, his run style and what he's been able to do that has made him successful? And I guess why did it take until this point in the season for that success to start coming through?
Yeah, he's a guy who tends to get better as the season goes on, as the game goes on. Physical runner. I think he's always going to get you what's there, and then the first guy has a hard time getting him down. So I think he has a great vision, great feet for a big physical back, and then, like I said, that first guy has a hard time bringing him down. And so with teams kind of packing the box in the way they were when we were down some guys outside, I think he was a great answer for us, and it has just kind of carried that forward as we're getting these pieces back. I think things will open up for him, and I expect him to continue to have success.
Coach, the offense looked really good from afar last weekend. As a play caller, how does that feel to kind of see everything beginning to click there, and how do you build off of that going into Minnesota this week?
Yeah, I think Marcus has done a really nice job when he's been in of orchestrating the offense, and throughout the week, the process, the professionalism, no matter who was in or which players we were trying to get caught up, he did a good job of leading that group. And so I thought it started with him. And just we want to play our best football at the end of the season. It's not the season that we had hoped for. But as an offense, you want to continue to build and get better, and that's what this group has done. So we'll see, get a couple of these other pieces back and kind of see what we can be these last 5 weeks.
Kliff, what sort of impact have you seen from Laramie Tunsil overall this season? I know he has a history of playing well, but now that you've seen him up close on a day.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. More than I could have ever expected, I'd say. Just the type of person, the type of character, the way he works, the way he leads the young guys, and it's been phenomenal. And the play speaks for itself. You'd be hard to find one that's played better at that position this season. So he's going to get a lot of money.
And I know you spoke about Josh Connolly earlier and how he's played. How helpful do you think it's been to have a tackle like Tunsil to help?
It's been phenomenal. It's been everything. I think especially early with some of the tough times, he was very open with kind of his struggles on the field and how long it took him to develop and play at the level that he felt like he really belonged. And so I think having a guy like that he's watching really dominate most days, talk through, going through some of the same things he is, I think meant a lot to him.
Hey, good afternoon, Coach. Really, at any level in your coaching career, have you ever been in a position with a quarterback where you just kind of get the sense during the year that, like, maybe it's too much information, too much coaching, too much on their plate, and we just kind of need to back off to not continue negative trends and kind of freeze the negativity, even though you have to then kind of stop the development at the same time?
That's a great question. You try to get ahead of that, I'd say. Most of the time, the situations that arise, I think, when the play has gone down, are other factors, whether it's injuries or your struggles in other areas. But I think if you're doing it right, you'll get ahead of that throughout training camp, throughout the spring, and kind of figure out what fits him, what he can handle mentally, physically, what type of plays can we run. Is it a run game guy? Is it not? So I think if you're trying to do your job at a high level, you can get ahead of that and not deal with that in season.
A hypothetical, so I don't know like how much you can really put into it, but like if you were to get that situation yourself, like entering that next off season, not having gotten ahead of it, unfortunately, like how do you think you would approach that?
Yeah, I just try to make sure that we broke it down to, what did he do well, what did he struggle with, and then make sure that we started from a place of what he did well and then build from there. I think that's the key, is making sure you tailor it specifically to that player and what he does well and play to his strengths, and then surround him with really good players. Sure.
Hey, Coach, what makes a Brian Flores-led defense so difficult to go up against?
Yeah, they're always really physical, really tough, and then he's so multiple on his fronts and his pressures. Each week you're seeing something you haven't seen before, and so it's really hard to prepare for. It's almost like you need to do what you do well and do it at a high level because you don't know what's coming. But I've always been impressed by B-Flow and the way those guys play, the tenacity, the physicality, and then just the scheme is a challenge, just because every week it's a new pressure and it's a new front dialed up that you have not prepared for. So a lot of unscouted looks.
Might put into the kind of the offense this week when you go up against a guy like that?
Yeah, there's things you're going to try to counteract it with, and like I said, I think what we focus on when you're going against a guy who's that multiple and does so many different things is say, what do we do really well, and kind of lean into that.
Have you noticed Sam Cosmi getting healthier as this season has gone, and how have you seen his relationship with Josh grow, and how has that manifested itself on the field in terms of communication and being able to block up that right side?
Yeah, definitely. He's his understanding of the system is night and day. First off, from last year, just watching his comfort level with the operation, the communication at the line of scrimmage, and then I would say last week you definitely saw him more comfortable than he's been. I think he's toughed it out a little bit coming back. It's always a bit of a process the first few weeks, just confidence in the knee and playing the way that he can play. And so I thought that was a big step last week. I think that's the best game he's played and looked like the Sam that he can be.
What have you thought about Ben Sinnott's development as a pass catcher?
Yeah, he can do that. There's no doubt. I mean, he's a dynamic player in space for that type of position, can create separation, all those things. It's a tough room when you have one of the all-time greats in there that we lean on in those situations, but he's progressed just the way we want. Thank y'all.